Listen here, me boy. I'm giving you the Time Lord Kemi for you to go back in time and get the necessary equipment for your upgrade. Please, please, don't fuck this up. Okay. He fucked it up.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Are you curious where you can watch the latest episode of Kamen Rider and Sentai every week? Well, since there is no official release, you might have to resort to alternative methods. Personally, when I search for website to watch tokusatsu, my top priority is to safeguard my personal data. That's why I rely on Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video. With Surfshark, your online safety and privacy is paramount as it is effective at concealing your online activities through its VPN capabilities. By encrypting your internet traffic that nobody can pry into your online endeavors or track your digital whereabouts. Additionally, Surfshark enables you to virtually explore the world with a tap thanks to its ability to change your VPN address. By switching your location to anywhere in America, let's say, you can access at least over 10 Ultraman shows and movies, or explore other toku shows available on Tokushoutsu. You can poke around at the Japanese premium Bandai page and discover a captivating array of expensive children's toys. I highly recommend getting Surfshark VPN today, as it comes with an extra 3 months. Simply click the link in the description, and if you are unsatisfied, rest assured there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So why wait any longer? Take advantage of this fantastic offer and sign up now. It's an incredible opportunity for all of you, my fellow tokusatsu fans. The show that's about alchemy has the protagonist of the show do real, actual alchemy. Well, times are changing. Took them 18 episodes though, but I did really like this episode. Specifically, Minato now being fully gone from our main cast's life, with him also leaving the school and erasing everybody's memories about him being a teacher, which would be interesting when he turns good again, because it inevitably going to happen. Are they just going to be like, hey, we need a new teacher, or they just going to reverse the spell, which would be dumb? But also, maybe it's just where I'm from. My high school had like 2 teachers, maybe 3 per subject. How many teachers do you have per subject in Japan? Like, is Japanese schools are like way too overstaffed? This is a genuine question, because there is no way he just hopped and left the school without actually finding any replacement, right? Right? I know it's a weird nitpick, but come on. This question, I actually want an answer, like a real one. Also, I genuinely really like the Moon Malgum's personality, where he's just a bitch running around and kidnapping all of Hotoro's friends, but also at the same time showing that he is very much a Malgum that would survive everything, because even a combination of Daybreak Gotchard and Wrestleant, Gotchard's strongest form, can't even beat him, which that fight scene was really fun, and also showing us that Gotchard has the best suits. Just saying. While the rest of the episode kind of focused on Hotaro doing the one thing that a lot of Toku protagonists don't really do, and that is actually rejecting an upgrade, which was really cool to see. Kind of like, oh hey, like, here's my gacha igniter, just use it, you'll be stronger. It's like, no, I want to make it myself, which is really interesting. And I don't know how many protagonists in Toku really did it, specifically Rider, like 100%. Like, if, I don't know, like, you would give Ace an upgrade, it's like, hey, take this, and Ace would say, okay, fuck you, I'm leaving, I'm just going to win again. I don't know. That was a really cool little thing that I really liked. He doesn't accept the Gotchard igniter as a gift, but he does accept time shenanigan as a gift. For him to go back in the past and find an artifact that he can transform it into the Gotchard igniter, which I really did like. Not only the concept of the Gotchard igniter needs to be an artifact that needs to be transformed into a different thing, but also, which makes it kind of alchemy if you really think about it, I also really liked the pics of the quote-unquote future, or for this episode, alternative future, was really cool, with it kind of not only making Daybreak Gotchard look really cool, but also bigs up Garyon, because like, oh my god, look at what Garyon did. Everything is on fire, including Gotchard. So Hotaro goes back to the past, to play the shitty games that suck ass, where we can see his younger self that is somehow in the Ouroboros realm, which still makes me believe that Hotaro's dad is Garyon, because if you really think about the only people that were in the Ouroboros realm in that exact moment were Fuga, which we got an interaction between young Hotaro and Fuga, and it clearly is shown that Fuga isn't Hotaro's dad, or he's just a very neglected dad. The Dark Three Sisters, which could be funny if one of them is somehow the dad, and Garyon, a character that young Hotaro didn't actually watch, and Fuga erases the mind of young Hotaro, which means that maybe he erased how Garyon looked, and because of that, when Hotaro sees him, he doesn't get a reaction of like, oh my god, that's my dad, and it's like, oh, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I'm still saying it's Garyon, because there is no way it's going to be Fuga. If it is, fuck, Fuga is the worst dad ever. While I did really like seeing the interactions between young Hotaro and old Hotaro, it shows how much I kind of would have loved if young Hotaro was the protagonist, because like young Hotaro had some balls, like, and he was actually like good with alchemy, and it's like when he created the goggles out of nothing, which alchemy, that's real alchemy, and Hotaro comes in and he was very nice, and it's like, hey, can I have the goggles? And I was like, no, like I made them, make it yourself. Was like really cool. It's like, oh my god, like a kid character in a tokusatsu show that is actually smart, like that's really cool. And when young Hotaro gives his old self the goggles, it's way after he protected not only himself, his younger self, but also the other Kamis from one of Garyon's attacks, which again makes Hotaro actually earns his upgrade. Yeah, he didn't actually fully make it because his younger self made the goggles, but still, that's really fucking cool. And also it's kind of funny that the younger Hotaro actor is slightly better. I'm sorry, okay, I would stop. I would stop clowning on Hotaro. And when Hotaro returns back to the present, he fully makes his own Gotchard igniter, making his own fire Gotchard form, or Daybreak Gotchard form. Like from what I understand, the Daybreak Gotchard form is just the same sound effect as fire Gotchard. It's very confusing, but it's probably because that there are different cards, so it would act differently, like armor wise, from what I understand. And he had a great fucking fight scene against the Moon Magam, and had the best rider kick in the entire franchise. Fight me. And oh yeah, I completely forgot about the big reveal of how and why Fuga was branded a traitor in the academy. Well, Geryon just pulled a spell on everyone, making them think that he's a traitor, and he ran away with the Kemis for his own nefarious means. It's this big moment kind of led up to a big fat nothing. It really feels like they had an idea for what the reveal would be, but in the end a lot changed, so they kind of they used some of the rules of the show and just kind of hey, that's it, thank you very much, I'm leaving. Yeah, I would end it off on something that I really truly loved, and that is the way that they actually handled the slight reveal of Daybreak Gotchard being an alternate future of Hotaru. Now, alternate future because Hotaru did make a big change in the timeline without really telling us. You can clearly see Daybreak from time to time sleeping, saying me when he means Hotaru. That was actually really cool. I don't know if I really want to see Daybreak anymore. It's really easy interesting if he would come back, have him come back sporadically, because if you really think about it, it's just a suit. You don't actually really need to bring in an actor. The only actor you need to bring is Daigo, which is fairly easy, or just in one point just give him the Daybreaker charge suit and just use it as one of Hotaru's suits, because I really like it. It's really good. It's kind of better than Fire Gotchard. I think that Fire Gotchard is good, but it's the big fiery fin on the chest, and the backpack is weird. I don't know what to think about that one. But yeah, overall, it was a great episode. It gets a B. So yeah, let's hope that Gotchard moves forward with it actually great momentum. So yeah, what you thought about Gotchard episode 18? Comment below, let me know. Thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe to my channel if you already didn't. Thanks for Surfshark for supporting my channel, and have a great rest of your day.